Hey folks, Devin Pennypacker here for the Windup Watch Shop, and I'm joined today by Ricardo, our shop manager for the Windup Watch Shop, and we are back for another challenge video. I came to Ricardo and I said, all right, Ricardo, I have $500 and I would like an entry-level dive watch. I am trying to beat the heat and I am failing miserably, hence the black short sleeve t-shirt. So we're gonna jump into the water and I need something that can hold up to it. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one you brought out here, which is the
Casio Duro.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
El Clasico, as I like to call it.
Yeah, the OG cheap dive watch.
This is definitely the OG cheap diving watch. And I remember people would always talk about the Casio Duro. It just goes to show you that this watch really stands the test of time.
Yeah.
Because even today, at its current price point, which is sub $100,
yeah,
and the specs that it has, it's just another great diving option.
Yeah.
I mean, just to go over those specs really quickly, 200 meters of water resistance, screw down crown.
Yeah.
On bracelet, it's still sub 100. Yes, the bracelet is folded, but bracelet nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a perfect introductory watch.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd strap that thing up on a rubber strap. If you didn't get it on the rubber version already, put that on a nylon strap. It's just a really good entry-level diver.
And for the price point, you can beat the snot out of it. It'll keep coming back for more, and if it does break, you just buy another one. Mm-hmm. They are fantastic for the price, and like you said, yeah, it has all the specs that you're looking for. The bezel action is actually surprisingly good. Yeah. The loom is also surprisingly good. Yeah, the bezel, or the bracelet, sorry, is a little on the chintzy side, but overall, it is just a solid watch, even for the price point that it is now. You can't beat it when it comes to value, and it is the icon for a reason.
Yeah, I have to say it's 44 millimeters.
It's a big boy.
It's a big boy, but still, like, as an entry-level diver, it's really hard to go wrong with that.
Fantastic choice. All right, watch number one down. Watch number two, let's get into it.
Watch number two, the G-Shock DW5600. Now, this is one that I was kind of surprised by. Yeah,
so I put this on the list. So I challenged Ricardo, and then I challenged him again by making him choose this one. Because for $100, this is a $99 digital watch. And people look at it and they go, hey, that's a digital watch. It's not a dive watch, but hear me out. 200 meters of water resistance. It's called out 20 bar, written in blue because blue is the color that they use to call out their water resistance. Mm-hmm. It is shock resistant. It is going to be a very durable, beat it up, do everything watch. It does have timing countdown functionality, which is what we look for on bezels. And I have it on good authority because a lot of my friends are divers, including a very knowledgeable person, the Submersible Wrist, who has dove with this watch. This thing held up. I watched him dive with a Casio F91W, and that thing held up too.
It's weird. Now that I hear you talking, it's hard for me really to challenge that.
Right.
Because most divers that I know, yes, they'll have like an automatic watch on, but they still have a dive computer on.
They do it for fun.
So yeah, in many ways, this is like a cheaper dive computer. So yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is something where you can beat it up, you can do countdown, you can do timing. It has the water resistance, and it is at $100. If it fails, if you lose it, if you break it, you can throw it out and get another one, and you won't be crying about it. If you lose your Rolex, you're gonna cry about it. If you lose this, oh well. So it is, for all intents and purposes, a dive watch. Okay. Fight me in the comments.
You've converted me. You've converted me. I still need to see myself being able to use the light function on that underwater. And then I'm 100% believer.
It does light up. It will be really difficult to do with gloves. It doesn't last for very long, but it has a light, and if you have a torch, you can light this up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll put down the nuclear option here, and we'll go to the third more traditional pick on the table, which is
the Defender from Boldr.
Okay.
So comes in multiple variations. We decided to pick the Sienna version, which is this blue version. No date, Cali dial.
Interesting pick. Okay, so a flashy diver.
Yeah, flashy diver.
Sure.
But still very functional.
Yeah.
200 meters of water resistance. Price is right. I mean, it's a really nice watch. And yeah, I just really like it. I think if you're looking for like maybe something a little bit more casual in terms of diving, but you still want it to have the specs that are necessary, so you're not worried about a splash getting on this, I think it's a really good diver. I really like that action and that sound on the bezel. And yeah, this is where I'm going.
This to me screams Caribbean vacation. This is the guy who's going to go down and do a discovery dive. So he needs something that can do a little bit of scuba, but then he's going to be sipping on Mai Tais on the beach, dancing to hula, having a great time. This is just a fun dive watch. It's capable, but a little bit flashy, and it has all of the specs you need, but it's a little dressed up. It is bead blasted too, so it'll take a beating and it won't show a lot of that wear. The bracelet is pretty nice. It's definitely a bit more solid than the jangly stuff we were talking about earlier. The bezel action is actually pretty fantastic. A little ratchety, but again, for $400, it's a pretty great option. And they do this in a lot of different variations too. You mentioned you grabbed this version, but there's a lot more out there too.
Indeed.
And Boldr's always doing new stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and your fourth option on the table here, now quite frankly, for a diver under $500, this is probably my favorite pick on the market right now, which blows my mind considering it's not a Seiko.
Yeah. We have here the Citizen ProMaster Echo Drive 41mm.
Yeah, brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah,
Now,
the name might confuse you because it's the name for a lot of watches out there.
Indeed. So, there's so many things to like with this watch. One, I think just in terms of like the classic dive watch look and feel, like I think this is just checking every single checkbox.
Yeah.
You have really nice large pips for lume. You have a very nice tactile bezel. You have a very nice, just overall nice shaped case, screw down crown. You also have the added benefit of a micro adjust here on the clasp.
Yeah,
there's
on the
just
fly adjustment system.
There's just so much going for this watch. And this is recently released.
Yeah.
It is a quartz Echo Drive model, so it's going to be powered by light. But if you're looking for something sub 500 that has all the specs you're looking for, that's built well, feels like a really tried and true diver, that watch will probably last a very long time.
Forever.
Forever. Forever. It's hard to beat this watch.
Yeah, I think the styling here is pretty modern, which is nice. It feels like the evolution of the Fujitsuba, which is interesting because it's half the price.
Yeah.
The bracelet, I think, is very nice for the price point too. Typically, watches that are under $1,000, I call out the price point, or I call out the bracelet as being a little on the chintzy side. This one feels very nice. And you'll notice with this one in particular that it is sized very specifically, because this is the watch that when we did our Windup in a lake in Chicago, that I wore on the dive boat. This is the one that when we were in downtown Chicago, I had on my wrist the entire time, and one that, quite frankly, I found myself falling in love with. Again, for under $500, it's a really hard package to beat. And in talking to the divers who were on that boat, they all felt the same way. They were all strapping on vintage Aqualand, vintage Citizen. Some people had on some pretty flashy watches too, but they all agreed that this new 41mm Citizen diver is a pretty excellent swing at the fence. It is an awesome new dive watch from Citizen that is kind of eating Seiko's lunch at this point.
Yeah, I have to say, like, there are a few watches that remind me of that feeling I had when I first got into watches, where I would find all these interesting, reasonably priced, like wouldn't feel like I'm being taken to the bank kind of watches that, like, they were such a pleasure to wear. And this is one of those watches. I mean, even like the aluminum bezel insert, it's just, it gives you that really, like, I don't want to say old school vibe, but
it feels like a classic hit.
Yes, it feels like this doesn't feel like the original. This feels like a remake of something that was really amazing.
Yes.
But it is not. It's just brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really like that watch.
Well done, Citizen. Anyway, those are the 4 watches that are on the table here. Ricardo, I know we kind of collaborated on picking these watches out, but I'm going to put you on the spot this time. Which one of the 4 are you taking home to go diving with this afternoon? All right. Well, that was pretty quick. He snatched that off the table before I could.
It's not even a question.
Yeah.
Mind you, I see all the watches that really come into our showroom. It's just a really good watch. If you ever get a chance, toss one of these on. It is just a really, really good watch.
Yeah, well, price aside, I'm taking the same thing home. Come into the showroom and try it on for yourself, and let us know down in the comment section which of the 4 you are taking out diving.